Welcome to Inspired Cooking with Lana. I am a life coach who loves to cook, so thought I would combine the two and bring you good food and food for thought. So let's get started. So today is I am doing a fast and easy version of Peking duck, which I'm actually going to use a rotisserie chicken. So going to keep it super simple, but I actually was in China in November of 2019. So when all of this stuff was breaking out, I was actually there. Fortunately, I was not in Wuhan, but you know, they're known for their Peking duck, and it was truly one of my favorite meals when I was there. So I'm going to make it for you. So what I have never made before is mandarin pancakes. So I'm going to give this a go, and we'll just see how this turns out. But for mandarin pancakes, we are using 1.5 cups of flour. And to that, this is just super simple. We're going to use 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to put in 1/2 teaspoon, make sure I have the right one here, of onion powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm just, I'm making that part up just because I like a little flavor in my flour. So we're just going to blend the salt and the powders. And then to this, we are going to add 2/3 cup of boiling hot water. So I'm going to take this to the microwave, get it really, really hot, and pour it into the flour. So my water is super hot and boiling. I put it in the microwave for 2 minutes, and now we are going to stir that into the flour mixture, and I'm just using chopsticks to mix this up. And then once this is completely mixed, I'm going to knead it for about 8 minutes, and then we're going to let it rest for an hour. So again, I have not done this before, so we shall see how this shakes out. Okay, so now I think I'm going to just use my hands and knead the dough. It's still a little hot. That is my cat in the background, and he's chirping at a squirrel that's tormenting him through the window. All right, so we have this kneaded, and we are going to let this rest for an hour while I continue making the rest of the stuff. So while I'm letting the dough mixture rest, I am now going to shred a rotisserie chicken. So we are keeping this meal super simple. And so what I want to do first, let me pull up my sleeves here. So what I want to do first is I want to take the skin off of the chicken, and I want to save the skin. So Peking duck, you know, my favorite part about Peking duck is the skin. So we are going to keep all of this skin. So I'm just tearing off the skin, and I'm putting it on my air fryer rack, and I'm going to put this skin into the air fryer to get it extra crispy. So this is like the best part of Peking duck. So again, peeling off the skin and going to put that in the air fryer. And once the skin is off, then I'm just going to shred the chicken into a bowl. So this doesn't have any skin on it, so we're just going to just shred the chicken. So how simple is that, right? And I think it's going to be delicious. So my chicken is shredded, and I also have all of my skin here that I'm going to put in the air fryer. So all we have left, again, this is a super simple meal, but I think it's going to be very tasty, And hopefully it will remind me of the Peking duck that I had when I was in China. So I know China right now is, I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of opinions about China, and but it is truly a spectacular place that has some, some definite wonders of the world. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to add some vegetables. So Peking duck typically is just the duck and the green onions and the sauce. And the sauce we're going to use is a hoisin sauce. But I'm going to add a few more vegetables. Anytime I can get some extra vegetables in my diet, I'm all for it. And this is a simple way to do that. So I have some green onion here, and I'm going to slice the green onion long ways before I slice it the other way. So I just want to keep slicing the onion long ways. So you just want really thin pieces of onion. So being in China, two of the most amazing things that I experienced when I was there was the Great Wall of China. I could have spent all day hiking the Great Wall. It was really, really spectacular. And then the other true highlight for me was the terracotta soldiers. So I have this terracotta soldier just sitting here in my video, and it was really, they call it one of the 8 wonders of the world, and I can truly see why. It's phenomenal that they discovered all of this and buried, 6 feet under the ground are these perfect replica of all of the different soldiers, and all of them are unique and different, and it's just mind-boggling. Okay, so now that my carrots are shredded that way, then I'm just going to slice them about 1 inch to 1.5 inches the other way. So they're shredded and they're about 1.5 inches long. So that's going to go into our Mandarin pancakes. And then from here, I'm going to shred some carrots. And I like freshly shredded carrots. I think it is a completely different flavor than store-bought shredded carrots. I think the store-bought ones are tough and flavorless. So I just have a box grater, and I'm just going to shred carrots. Be sure to keep your thumb out of the way. That's a life lesson I've learned the hard way. So just shredding some carrots for our pancakes. So I've shredded about 3 carrots. That should be plenty. And next I have some bean sprouts, mung bean sprouts. And I could certainly put these in raw, but I'm just going to saute them quickly. So when I was in China, I went over with some good friends of mine that are flight attendants. We all were flight attendants together back in the day. I've retired since then. But we travel, Christine and I have traveled to many different places together, and we've always had a great time. And China was definitely an experience, to say the least. When we were there, it was just, and I also was reading this book called Lost on Planet China while I was there, and it was written by a journalist, and he's an incredible writer, and the facts are spot on. It's like, it was so amazing when I was reading the book and I was in Shanghai. He was in Shanghai, and when I was in, everywhere that I was, it seemed like he was there in the book. So it really was a really cool read, and I learned so much more about the history. I learned about the history from being there and with our personal guide there, but I also learned so much from this book and the history. So if you want a good read on China, it's called Lost on Planet China. It's a good title as well. So again, I'm just going to quickly saute some of these mung beans. So the vegetables are ready to go, and the crispy skin is finished in the air fryer, which I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. So now I have my ball here for my Mandarin pancakes. So again, I have not done this before, so this is an experiment, but we shall do this together. In worst case scenario, if this does not work out, I have some tortilla shells as a backup. So I'm just gonna cut this, again, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna cut this into sections. So a lot of times what they do, I'm not sure why they do it, they stack the pancakes on top of each other when they're frying them. So again, don't really know the method to that madness, but that's what we're gonna do. So I have these, so I'm just gonna make these into little round discs. They're balls. These are about inch and a half, let's say. So I'll show you. Can you see that? So about an inch and a half. Okay, so I have the last ball here. So let's see, I have 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 pancakes that I'm going to make, and that was using a cup and a half of flour. So if you want more pancakes, then you can change that quantity. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do, is we're gonna, I have just a little bit of flour on parchment paper, and I have my rolling pin here. So I'm going to, if you can see what I'm doing, I'm going to take this and put olive oil, actually I have grapeseed oil. So I'm going to put grapeseed oil on the top of one pancake. I'm going to smash it down to where it's more of a disc instead of round. Okay, then I'm going to put oil in it, and then I'm going to put oil on another ball, and I'm going to put it on top. So again, I'm just doing it the way that they do it, and I'm not quite sure why they do it that way, but I'm just gonna drizzle olive oil in between, and we're going to stack 2 pancakes on top of each other. And then we're going to take a rolling pin and we're gonna roll this out. Okay, so I have 2 pancakes on top of each other, and it's about this size. I would say 8 inches, a 6 to 8 inch pancake. And then I have the pan heating here. You can see that. I'm not sure if it's going to be too hot or not. So we're just going to put this into the frying pan. So we're just going to wait until we see bubbles on the top. So while that's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get another one going here. I'm just going to lift this. Yeah, so it's slightly browned on one side, so I'm going to flip it. So I want you to see it's just slightly brown. So that's what you want. You don't want them to be overcooked. Okay, I think they look pretty good. They're slightly brown. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull them out. So now that I have my pancakes done, and they're just, again, you just want to see a slightly brown. And so now all I'm going to do is separate the two, and I'm going to be able to separate them because of the oil that was in between. So voila, I did it. I'm so impressed. So anyway, I'm just going to keep going with these pancakes. So I have a second batch here ready to go. Okay, I just tried removing the parchment paper, and I'm much happier with the ability to roll out my pancakes. So cancel the parchment paper. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a wet paper towel between each layer. So my good friend Kristen has showed up for dinner tonight, so thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Looking forward to having dinner together. So I've made us a margarita, which I will show you in another episode, but cheers, girlfriend.
Cheers.
All right, so now we have to, oh good, I'm glad you like it. So I made homemade pancakes for us for our Peking duck. And then I just put a wet paper towel between each layer. So just keep it moist, and then I had it in the oven on warm. So our pancakes are warm and ready to go. And most of Peking duck is just the duck, the skin, and green onion is typically. But I always like to add extra vegetables, just getting in extra vegetables when I can. So we have bean sprouts and carrots and green onions, and then we also have cilantro from my tower garden. So fresh cilantro. And then, so I peeled the skin off of the chicken, the rotisserie chicken, and I put this in the air fryer. So if you guys can hear how crispy that is, it's really crispy. So this is like crack, right?
Right.
So we're going to put this on top of our Peking duck. So now we're just going to layer. So I will give you a plate. Perfect. And I'll just slide this around here. Okay. So we have our homemade flour mandarin pancakes. And then from here, we are going to put the sauce on. So the two sauces that I have is a hoisin sauce, and I like it spicy. So if you like it just sweet, then you can just stick with the hoisin, but I also really want spicy. So this is a garlic chili sauce, which I love, love, love garlic chili sauce. So we're just gonna combine the two. I have spoons here. So we will just grab a spoon and grab a sauce. I'll start with the spicy. You start with that, and we're just gonna smear it on our pancake. You know, most Peking duck, you roll it up like a burrito, but these are thin and a little small, so I may just eat these like a taco instead of a burrito. It's all the same. It's all going down the same hatch. So, okay, so we're just adding our sauce. And then, and I'm a sauce girl, so I'm being generous with that. So next we are going to start with the chicken. So, or you could do it any way you like. So I'm going to start with the chicken. And I'm just going to use my hands. My hands are clean. So I'm just going to sprinkle on some bean sprouts, some carrots. I should probably use a spoon. What do you think?
I'm okay with hands too, but...
All right, so I'll give this to you. You can just set it on top of there. And some cilantro. I love cilantro. And last but not least, we can't forget the skin. So I'm just gonna crunch the skin. It kind of reminds me of bacon. So we're gonna just sprinkle that on, and we're gonna just eat it like, I'm gonna eat mine like a taco, but if they were a little bigger, I think I would wrap them as a burrito. So there you have it, a Peking chicken dinner, fairly simple and fun. And if you like this recipe, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my website at inspiredcookingwithlana.com. Thanks for watching.